What's your Tyler's back? My Raw review for July 7th, 2025. Not only is this the last Raw before Saturday night's main event, but also for Evolution, which, yeah, it's gonna be a little big weekend for me for these reviews. So, the only reason I'm doing Saturday night's main event because Goldberg's gonna be on there, and there's that. But this Raw was, meh. It was in the Emerald Memorial Pacific. The in Providence, Rhode Island. Whatever. Um. So there's that. So we kick out with Seth Rollins addressing in his Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman addressing their plans for tonight, which Rollins, is fighting LA Knight on Saturday, and Rollins instead his hand and Heyman goes to hand him the microphone, but Breaker walks through, then takes it takes himself. Everyone in the ring looks confused, and then the crowd barks, and Breaker says he is standing in this ring because Seth Rollins and the man Paul Heyman have two visions that has him as the face of WWE. The next decade, oh god. But anyways, this is the vision of a WWE without Sami Zayn. The crowd boos, and Breaker doesn't like Sami Zayn. He doesn't like his music, and basically he wants his uncle's like promo style stuff. Anyways, then Bronson Reed gets the mic, but then Rollins says if Breaker is so good before calling him, and then Breaker is not in a laughing mood, Bronson Reed then mentions for motions for the microphone. Then they're just seeing Punk chant, and then Breaker says, "Love it." That the vision he will get that respect they deserve. So that's not respect, Reed. And then Seth Rollins says, "Welcome everyone to Monday Night Rollins." There was a Roman Reigns OTC chant. I feel like he's gonna come back at some point before SummerSlam. And then Heyman has the mic and hands the mic to Rollins as CM Punk chant breaks out, and Rollins says that coward cover everything, and there's that. Yeah. Roman is, like I said before, no. Braun's facing Sammy, and then Bronson Reed's facing Jey Uso, and then Seth Rollins is fighting Penta, all in one thing. Uh, More judgment nonsense. But the best thing about it was Dom getting a cake says get well soon, Dom, from AJ, and AJ just emerged from the shadows and that he's watching Dominic Mysterio, and Mysterio says he has a doctor's note. Yeah, there's that. Anyways, it was that was kind of funny though, but enough with the fucking judgment nonsense. Anyways, then Kairi Sane defeats Roxanne Perez. A mad match, and then afterwards, Asuka comes out, and later on, they are going to be the Raw representatives for the tag titles. Okay. It was a bad match, anyways. 1 out of 5. Then they show what happened last week on Raw, and then Sami Zayn gets interviewed, and then Scarlett walks up and she simply says no, and there's that. I already talked about the whole. There's a Nikki Bella video pack. She'll be in that Battle Royal at Evolution. Anyways, then Sami Zayn was going to make his entrance, and Karrion Kross attacks him, and then during the commercial break, Sami wants to. And then after. My bad. Adam Pearce, Bald Eagle, says he's checking on him, but saying, takes his shirt off and says he wants to go, and Braun Breaker basically beat his ass, and that was it. Sami did get a few offense, but it was all Braun Breaker. Nothing much in the match, really. Anyways, then the Viking were getting talking, and the New Day dressed up like fucking preachers for some fucking reason. I had to point that out. Then Becky Lynch comes out. It was confirmed there would be a triple threat between her, Bayley, and Lyra. So, yeah. She cuts a promo, and then Bayley comes down and she has a mic before Lyra interrupts her, and basically it was just a screaming contest, and that was it. And then Lyra just stands tall afterwards. They show a video of Sheamus and Rusev's match on Raw last week. And then Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Seth Rollins are backstage, or that. Then Jey Uso defeats Bronson Reed by fucking disqualification. And then Bronson Reed hits 2 tsunamis on Jey Uso. 2, I'll give it. Then show a fact of Goldberg could conclude a 20-year in-ring career at Saturday Night's Main Event. Which, yeah, and then there's an LA Knight video package about what happened. There was a Rhea that says she never defeated Io Sky at Evolution. Do not have Rhea win the title, okay? Then El Grande Americano. It's Lufa Kaiser now cosplaying as him, defeats Dragon Lee. Terrible. 0. The match sucked also. There was a Penta's warming up, then Paul Heyman approached him, and Heyman says Seth Rollins pursued honor, and then he speaks in Spanish for some reason, and Penta walks up, and Heyman and Breaker talks about how much they hate the hand motion. A 75 Cure video package about the Battle Royal, and there's that. And then Gunther comes out, makes his way to the ring, he'll defend his world title against Goldberg at Saturday's Main Event, and could be Goldberg's final match, which is most likely going to be. That's probably why I'm doing that review. And Gunther said a lot of nothing important. Then Goldberg comes out. He punches Gunther in the face. And he was going to spear Gunther, but then Gunther runs away. I'm having a feeling that Goldberg's going to win the title and steps to the cash in. Yeah. Then the main event, Seth Rollins defeats Penta. Honestly, this was a great match. The best on this was the best match on the fucking show. 4 out of 5, I'll give it. And then afterwards, LA Knight appears and attacks, or gives Seth Rollins the BFT and runs through the crowd, and that's how it ends. Yeah, Raw was Nothing special, really. So C minus, I'll give it. It's mostly because the main event saved it, but everything else was just filler, really. So I'll do second Guardians of the Galaxy movie review, and then it'll be episode 85 of Showdown, and then Thursday my second show. So subscribe to the notification on that one, and that's the obvious one, you know. It's New Blood Rising 2000 from WCW, but that's on Thursday, and then move on from there. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel, and the notification bell, as well as my secondary channel that has rich reviews. Subscribe to the notification bell on that one, and there. Bye-bye.